Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It is Tuesday morning, the 2nd of April. I'm going to get straight into this video. I'm going to keep it quite brief because there is a press conference this afternoon. This afternoon, my time, 11 AM Central. This is, of course, regarding missing 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers from Hendersonville in Tennessee. Investigators from Sumner County Sheriff's Office are going to give an update on the search for Sebastian. On Monday, Sumner County Sheriff's Office Chief Deputy Eric Craddock issued a statement announcing there will be a complete media update for the public on Tuesday at 11 AM Central, which is 5 PM my time, because we're back to 6 hours apart now because our clocks have gone forward. So it's going to be 5 PM my time. I will be live from about maybe 4:15 my time, so that's 10:15 AM Central. There'll be about 5 million other people streaming that press conference, but if you choose to spend your time with me, I'm very grateful. Included in the announcement was the statement, at this time we have no new developments to report. However, we understand the importance of keeping the public informed. We want to assure you that the investigation into Mr. Rogers' disappearance remains ongoing. Okay, so that's coming later. All right, so I want to cover a couple of things in this video. Firstly, I want to address a very useful comment that I got on my video yesterday about the search dog, the very first search dog that was out on the hunt for Sebastian. That was Max. We heard about Max in the dispatch call, so we know him by name. Don't know what breed of dog Max is, don't know what his specialism is. But what I assumed, and yes, it was an assumption, as some people pointed out, you just assuming, Michelle, yeah, I am, because I don't have access to the police files, do I? So we're all making assumptions, but it was a logical assumption that Max wasn't scent specific. And some people said, Michelle, there's no such thing as a human tracker dog that isn't scent specific. Untrue. Untrue. Anyhow, I got this comment, which was incredibly useful because I wasn't aware of this. Michelle, I'm local here where Sebastian went missing, and I've created a missing map for him. Sat down with Seth and went over his map. The dispatch call with Prince, he states, is by beach. So let's listen to this dispatch call here.
Next big track back up, going into the construction site over here, back towards beach.
That's important behind you. It's awful muddy. Do you see any footprints, anything? You shouldn't have any shoes on.
Hey, this is all dry, hard packed. I do have some footprints over here.
Right there where you're standing?
Yeah, leading right over here to the retaining pond.
No shoes, just footprints?
My shoes, but Max went straight into the pond. Max led me straight to the retaining pond. Over behind Willow Boulevard, he dove right into the water.
And yeah, on the dispatch call, it says, tracked him by beach. Okay, so there's Beach High School. There's also a church called Beach Presbyterian, I think it's called. So this is the thing I didn't know. The ponding construction site is not where law enforcement found Prince. It was behind Willow Bend, close to the high school. So the pond in the construction site in front of Parkenham hasn't been drained. That's not where Prince were. Two different ponds, just wanted to be clear. I'm glad you were, because we've all been talking about the retention pond in the construction site, which hasn't been drained. Okay, let's review the map in relation to this new information. So Sebastian lives here on Stafford Court. Construction site is here. It looks a bit different now. This front section is now all complete, like people are living in it. Up here, I thought that said Willow Boulevard. It doesn't. It says Willow Bend Drive. because my eyes are short. My ears must be shot as well, because I also thought that on the dispatch call he was saying Willow Boulevard, but no, he was saying Willow Bend Drive. Now, Willow Bend Drive comes all the way from here. Willow Bend Drive goes round this bend here, and then this is Parkenham. Can you see? Parkenham Drive. All right, so I assumed that the retention pond was at the back here. This back part here is all still construction. You can see it when people park here and look across, and you see it's just all clay, and clay would hold scent very well, by the way, but however, there's a pond there. But I assumed that there was a retention pond. If not this one, then it was behind here. But no. Let's read this comment again. The dispatch call with prints, he states, is by beach. The pond in construction site is not where Ellie found prints. It was behind Willow Bend, close to the high school. So the pond in the construction site in front of Parkenham hasn't been drained. That's not where the prints were. Two different ponds. So the pond in front of Parkenham is this one. Not been drained. Not been drained. Okay, so there's a pond here. I'm assuming, therefore, that it's this pond that was drained. Now, this pond, this is right by Sebastian School, right here. And this is the church. Can I go down to street level on here? I can. Can I go down here? No. So, behind this is a cemetery. Right, so behind here, you can see the gravestones there. It seems that it's this pond that was drained, and it was this pond that had the prints around it. So presumably, it was this pond that Max dove into, which is why they drained it. But that's not on the construction site. That's in the cemetery. So presumably, the land is owned by the church. Maybe. Because it's just past the cemetery. I don't know. It might be owned by the school. I've no idea who owns that piece of property. But that was drained. But this, we all assume, we've all been told that the retention pond in the construction site. Have I just made that up? have I just made that up? I don't think I have. That's a pond as well, isn't it? Is that a pond? Is that mud? Pond, potential pond, not been drained. But there was no prints there because the prints were over here. So presumably that initial track that Max got was also over here. So, geez, I don't know, you guys. We can talk about that more later when I go live. The other thing I want to briefly mention, and again we can talk about this later, is a call that the channel Crime Sleuthin, who I'm not subscribed to, but now I am, had with Todd Tyrrell. Who's Todd Tyrrell? Todd Tyrrell is one of the guys from the United Cajun Navy. You know, the one that people are calling scammers and stuff. I'm not calling them scammers. I'm just saying that they give me Peter Folding vibes. That's all I'm saying. She played a little bit of this call with Todd Tyrrell on her live stream 2 days ago.
We had to pull out because of threats, but let me tell you something. We didn't pull out. We just backed off, and we're not telling everybody what we're doing.
They didn't back out because of threats, no. They're just regrouping. They're regrouping because they're good at regrouping, all right. But they're not saying what they're doing next. They're not saying.
Do I know what happened? We on to something. That's why we're getting followed. That's why we're getting threatened. And that's why we're getting told threatened to leave.
So they're onto something. That's why they're getting threatened. Well, who are they getting threatened by? They're not getting threatened by YouTubers. If they were getting threatened, why didn't they just call the cops? Why didn't they just call the cops like they did on JLR? Who wasn't threatening them? He was just sitting there minding his own business. He didn't threaten them, and they called the cops on him. So genuinely, if they were getting threatened, they would have had the cops. They would have had the cops. Even more so in this next statement.
Do we know what happened? No. Do we have a theory that we believe is, the most reliable theory that we're pretty sure is what happened? Of course. Can we get to where the body is, we think? That's why we keep getting shot or threatened.
They know where the body is, or at least they think they know where the body is. And other people know they know where the body is. Do we know that Sebastian's dead? Okay, all right. Well, that's news to everybody. They know where the body is. That's why they're getting shot at. Who's shooting at them? He changed it to threatened, right? So if you were being shot at, you'd call the cops, wouldn't you? Yeah.
You know, and all kind of follow and everything else. We know that we're in the right area. We just can't get access to that area.
So they can't get access to that area where they know his body is because they're being shot at. They were chased off. Well, if you know where the body is, why haven't you called it in to the cops? You know, the actual cops who can get a warrant. They can bust in with a SWAT team if they wanted to. So if you were genuinely helping and not just soliciting publicity, and with publicity comes donations, if you're not just doing that, you'd have just quietly called the cops and had the cops check it out. You'd have led the cops right to where you believe you know where Sebastian's body is. So no one would have been able to threaten you because they could have had a whole SWAT team there. So in my opinion, that is complete and total BS. In my opinion. But we can talk about that later. And the United Cajun Navy can, I don't know, go swivel or whatever. Whatever they want to do. All right. I'll see you later, guys.